So, uh, so many of the people have moved to some other places. So anyway, the point is the world changes. We change. As bodies, we change. Constant change, that is body, isn't it? It is a constant sequence of chemical reactions that go on that we call body. And the biggest foolishness that happens is that we associate the body with I consciousness. I am the body, which is meaningless. This spirit is a constant thing, unchanging, ever present. And there is this play of uh, so much of variety which keeps on shifting and changing. And as we identify with body, what happens? We start suffering. We get desires. Mm. So it is, and as we get desires, what happens? That we suffer, we want to fulfill those desires, and it is not easy to fulfill them, as you know. So it is, we strive hard, somehow that desire gets a particular aspect of it gets fulfilled, and we feel, hey, now done. Like my friend Aksham sitting here. So he may think, once I get this, my bachelor's, then wow, I will be so happy. But then next thing comes, then next thing comes, and then next thing comes. And then like that, it is like walking. Ah, to get to horizon. Say, let me, it is right here. It looks like it is just about 3 miles away. So let me go and catch the horizon. How long will you have to walk? Huh?
3 miles.
Only 3 miles. That would have been so good, you know. Yeah. You have to keep on walking for 3 miles after every 3 miles. Ah, it is, yeah, exactly. It is the infinite. It never ends, and therefore suffering never ends as long as we make this mistake of tying this consciousness that does not change with the matter that is change, that gets it. The change is called matter, really. So it is to learn to see behind this changing panorama and feel the essential oneness that pervades that all. And then you become free of all sufferings. Otherwise, there is no end to it. Friends, please, the quicker we understand this, the better off we are. Otherwise, the desire, so let me come get this and I'll be happy. Once I get a spouse, then I will be so happy. Mm. Well, your laughter suggests that it is not true. But that is a dream, that it is that let us become happy by getting something outside. And that is, the saints have put that in terms of very easy contradictions that we can feel, that everything is really this self, the Atman. How can we ever be unhappy? It is not possible at all. It is like the title of this talk, Water Becoming Thirsty. Can water ever become thirsty? To quench our thirst, what we do? We drink water. Now imagine the water has become thirsty. What are you going to do for it? It is laughable. How can water become thirsty? Exactly, friends. It is like that. How can I become unhappy? It is an impossibility, except because of the illusion that I am this body, I am this mind. These things are changing. How can I be that? And if we stop identifying this, then we are happiness itself. We cannot be made happy because we are happiness itself. What do you add to sugar to make sugar sweet? Hmm? Anything? Sugar by nature, how can you make sugar sweet by adding something to it? In exactly the same manner, we cannot be made happy because we are happiness itself. Adding something to us is not likely to make me happy. It is, we feel that it is all outside that I should get. There is a very beautiful hymn of Shankaracharya uh, called Dakshinamurti Stotram. Mm. विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यत्साक्षात्कुरुते प्रबुद्धसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. A very familiar analogy is given there that you stand before a mirror. You all do, isn't it? I also do. Standing before a mirror, in front of the mirror, is a common experience. Now I saw this, that young lady sitting in the back. If she sits or stands in front of the mirror and sees that, well, her hair needs, can do with a little more brushing and so takes a brush or a comb and starts moving it on the mirror. Well, it is, can that be straightened like that? It is not. But you see that, oh, that is there. That is there. So why shall I not be able to straighten it there? That is all that we do in the world. It is a reflection. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari. This is like being seen in the mirror. The reality is here, reflection is there. This is a simple physics. That if the reflection is there, the reality is in the opposite direction. So you see that it is the seen outside, but it is actually right with us. This is a very dominant theme in all Vedanta literature, and in fact, Vedanta does not thereby mean, I do not mean thereby that it is just Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita or Indian scriptures. Any religion, what the name I mean, is telling about the same thing, that see the divine, see the God, where everything unites. The languages are different, but the idea is same. that see this one that appears as many. Do not get lost in the apparent manyness, but learn to see that unchanging, one without second existence itself in all these. And that will, remove all the questions. Not that the problem will be solved. Hmm. The problem will disappear. There was never a problem. You can see that it is that we see that it is in, suppose in a dream. That is the next analogy given in that verse. Uh, that bhutam yatha nidraya, that while sleeping, you see that there is a big tiger that is, pursuing you, wants to naturally gobble you. So now you are, oh, what to do now? Should I call 911? How to escape that tiger? Ah. And when you wake up, uh, do you find the way to escape from that tiger? Did you find somebody on 911? You just laugh. Oh, it was just a dream. It was not real. So, all this variety that we see in this world, and what does it mean? Mean I and the world. I and the world. I keep on running after the world. It is. And this chase never ends because whatever we run after, uh, keeps on changing the forms. And that is how our these all stories in what is called Puranas. There are all those demons that we want to kill. They, but they take different forms. Therefore, the stories keep on continuing. And thus, this is how this suffering continues till we get this. We keep on superimposing things like that. Many years ago, uh, one a bit older gentleman was telling that, oh, my daughter called and told me that she will be giving birth to a baby in a few days. But those days you couldn't decide what the gender till the baby actually comes out. You won't know whether it is male or female. So this gentleman was telling that we don't know whether it will be a boy, baby boy, or a baby girl, and therefore I don't know whether I will be a grandfather or grandmother. This is the superimposition, you see, that the gender of the baby is not going to impact your gender, but that is how the superimposition happens. That this unchanging I, how can it be, augmented with? That is perfect already. You cannot add anything to it. It is perfection itself. The perfect cannot have desires. And because desire means there is imperfection, that I want to get something and thereby I will remove that imperfection. But the self has no imperfection. It is perfection itself. And therefore, like one of the wonderful Upanishads, the Aitareya Upanishad, begins with this kind of a story that there was Atman alone. There was nothing else. Nanyat kinchana mishata. Atman alone. But then means not in the sense of time, but due to ignorance. There is no causal connection there, that it is They just ignorance of it gave the idea that I am so and so, and this is all world around me. Then what happens? Hunger comes. Otherwise, you are perfect. Now also people say that, oh, would you like to eat this? When asked, somebody says, oh, I'm good. Means I'm not feeling hungry. I don't eat anything now. So we will not feel hungry at all if we see that we are perfection itself. If we are the all-pervading one without second, Atman, then there is no possibility of having a hunger in me, a desire in me. Hunger is just to show the urgency, show the intensity that it is that I want to eat now. It is so, uh, and so I start chasing whatever is I see. It becomes like prey. So I run after the food. This division is like that. The I and the food. When do you see food? When you separate yourself. In ignorance, I and the world. So, thus you start running after it. And the Upanishad, very poetic, so describes it like this that first it tried to catch uh, the food by ear, mm, could not catch. So now also, therefore, Upanishad says with a twinkle in the eye that look, therefore, now also just by hearing the name of food, we don't feel satisfied. It is just by saying that there is this rice and bread and all that, you hear nothing happens. There is, and then try to catch with eyes. Even by seeing the food, we don't feel satisfied. It is by smelling also, we don't feel satisfied. There was a nice confectionery shop, and one man who was not buying anything but was feeling the smell. Ah. And then the owner of the shop became agitated. Hey, you must pay for this. Yeah, you are eating by nose. It is, you must pay for this. And this man said, okay, I will pay in the same way as I am taking the food. So he had some coins in a bag. He shook those coins and make tinkling noise. Okay, you heard the noise of this money, so that's it. So it is, you cannot catch it by the Atman, the enjoyer found that you cannot catch, the eater could not eat by any of these organs. So then somehow grabbed and took it in the mouth, and then momentarily found satisfied. Okay, now I got it. But the next moment, again saw that the food is running ahead of him. Oh, so I have not eaten. Uh, there is one name for donkeys in some area in India. They are called the children of Vaishakh Nandan. Children of Vaishakh means in Vaishakh there is all summer season there, all hot, so all the grass is dry, and then there is no grass seen. Then so the donkey feels now I must have eaten all, I am full. Ah, because if there is a grass scene, then you feel, oh, I have to eat this, I have to finish this. So it is this, you see that there is still food there ahead, and you keep on running after. That is the addiction that we get. Many have such addiction, friends, even in terms of regular food, that if they see the food, they cannot stop themselves from eating it. So it is, they may need, they may not need, but if they see, then that they must have to take it in. So this is the idea that the world, I and the world separate, then the hunger continues, and thus we keep on suffering. What Buddha calls, therefore, instead of hunger, Buddha calls it thirst. Tandha, the Pali word that he uses, tandha, Trishna. Sanskrit is Trishna, the thirst. The throat is getting parched, and don't see anything to drink from. So that is how the condition in the world for us is. It is because whatever we feel like will be able to quench my thirst, you go and see that it was a mirage. Mirage. So you cannot really drink that water. And thus you wonder, how shall I get satisfied? The, uh, if by some great fortune you get somebody, a teacher, like this Dakshinamurti first stanza I chanted, Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam. Somebody who shows you the path. Oh, you know, you were going, it is all mirage. You won't get any water there. You have to see where actually water is. We see and do not understand that it is a mirage. Our one Swami, uh, he is from a different order, but teaches Vedanta very nicely. Anubhavananda. So Anubhavananda, he gives an analogy very nicely. Our improvement of the world, progress of the world, what is it, you know? It is like putting a purification plant on the mirage water. So, what is this progress of the world? What do you call progress? Hmm. The progress is to be measured in terms of the goal, how much closer we are brought to the goal. So, what is the goal? To become happy. Do you agree? That the goal is to become happy. The goal is to get all the knowledge in the world, all knowledge. And that being the goal. How far away are we compared to what we were 5,000 years ago? The outer things have changed a lot, but have the people become happier now than what they were 1,000 years or 5,000 years ago? And the answer is certainly no. It is, there is changes happen, that they were staying in probably a cave or some very rudimentary this hut. They stay now in huge uh, these complexes of condominiums and whatever, with all things, all conveniences right at hand. So, but is the happiness coming by all that? It is all very elusive, just as the mirage keeps on moving forward. Vivekananda writes, or he has actually, that their lectures, he spoke that when he was going through the dry areas of Rajasthan in India, it is all a lot of desert full of sands, and so And he was seeing the very nice lakes as he was walking, and he was wondering that, oh, it is full of such lakes. Why people call it a waterless desert? So while walking, he felt thirsty and decided to approach one of those lakes. And then, as he started going towards it, the lake was also moving forward away. Then it struck him. This is what he had read about in his school books. It is mirage. So the happiness remains as elusive. Whether we have a lot of scientific progress, lot of so-called knowledge earned, still the same misery continues. So, what is to be done? The whole problem is that we are trying to uh, solve it from and getting more and more things from outside, whereas the solution is inside. We have to go where the what we seek, where it is, that is to be first found out. We seek a joy. Do we know where it is first? Like whatever thing you want to buy, like suppose you want to buy an iPhone, then you go to where to go? You do not go to a barber shop to buy an iPhone. They not possible to get it there. You go to that Apple store or whatever. There you can find it. So it is like that. We inquire first where it is. Where is happiness? Mm. This is a very important inquiry. Before we start, rushing, thinking that this is going to make me happy. Think about it. We see so many people who have rushed to get it, and they become, not an iota of happiness gets added to them. They remain as miserable as ever. In fact, the intensity of the urge increases, and one then becomes more and more miserable. It is, see, it is akin to it, We think that money will make me happy. The problem is there, It is, had I had enough money, then I would have bought a nice house. I would have got this and I would have got this. The only problem is I don't have money. Now, see how much money you require, try to find out, and still you will remain unhappy. Look at the lives of those who are having lot of money. The problem is how to spend it for them, So it is, are they happy? The same thing, it is the same suffering. Whether you put on a very costly suit, like suppose a person has a severe heart condition. Now, just by changing the attire, does that heart condition get improved? It doesn't. Whether you are a billionaire or a beggar on the street, does that change? That doesn't change at all. So, getting more money, what happens? No, we do not see the consequences of it. Just a little thinking will make us see this. This is a simple logic. It's not a rocket science. Anybody can understand it very easily. That when you are running after money, hmm, you are, imagine, you are running after money. Then who is the master and who is the slave? Simple, isn't it? The money is the master. As the money goes, so you have to go. no chance to move here or there. You have to go according to how the money moves. One lady told me one day, a very wise lady, that she said that they don't tell one thing, that they say that the man is the head of the house. Man is the head of the house. But the fact is that the woman is the neck. So, as the woman turns the neck, head has to turn. Isn't it? Very simple. It is. So, she was telling, this is the fact. I say, I agreed, no doubt about it. It is, yeah. It is. And women are wiser, they do not reveal it easily. Otherwise, yeah, the fun is all gone, So it is, they know that they have the control. So it is, uh, similarly, money has the control then. The money starts controlling us. Mm, we become slaves to money. And then who uses whom? Who uses whom? Uh, we use money or money uses us? Answer is simple, isn't it? No brainer. Money keeps on using us and we keep on working to get more and more of it. What increases? Money increases. We keep on slaving to get more money. It is, yeah, very funny ideas, our investment advisor once was telling, that last year, we made so much money and so forth. So I told him a nice story. One man said to wife, in New York, I today instead of taking the bus, uh, I walked uh, or ran, and thereby I saved $2. The wife said, why did you not run after a taxi? You would have saved $25. It is simple, isn't it? So that is our, yeah, idea of money, that it is. So we should see the things with clarity. It is that, can money be the goal of life? No, it is impossible. That, so what is it that the happiness is in? It is in no object, friends. We are happiness itself. Mm. We are happiness itself. So, knowing that we become happy, how can I ever be unhappy? There is a nice tale in one of the Upanishads, Taittiriya Upanishad. It appears in various forms in some other Upanishads as well. It is that, oh, this, the person who is knower of the Atman, is very happy always. Look at Sri Ramakrishna, Ananda Murti, Nityam Ananda Murti. In worship, we chant this dhyana mantra, meditation mantra of Sri Ramakrishna. How is he? Nityam Ananda Murti. Always. Ananda Murti means an image carved out of Ananda, the bliss. Means it is all bliss, like an image carved out of wood. It is just wood. So, an image carved out of bliss. What is it? Just bliss. That is Sri Ramakrishna. That bliss of Sri Ramakrishna did not depend on the circumstances, did not depend on how people are behaving with him. Because Nityam, always happy. Our happiness, depends on uh, that which club my team wins the Super Bowl or some other team wins the, hey, then of our young devotees was so much fan of a particular club, wanted that club to win. It never won. And so now you can see, I told him, if your happiness depends on that, when it didn't qualify, then that I called him to just console him. Hey, don't worry. Uh, his mom took the phone, said, "Oh, after he saw that TV and saw that his that team is vanquished, he felt so depressed. He went to his room, locked. He's not talking to anybody." Mm. So it is why? Because my happiness, if it depends on the victory of that particular team, then things are not in my hand, isn't it? Those people must play good, and the opponents must play bad. Then only it is possible. So my happiness is not then in my control. And that is what happens when we have these desires, feeling that that desire will bring me happiness. And we become slaves to that. We become beggars. Oh, money, give me some happiness. Begging. Uh, oh, house gives me some happiness. Oh, spouse, give me some happiness. So the happiness is not in my control at all. And we become therefore just such beggars in life. While all the time we are happiness itself. I will read a short passage from Swami Vivekananda's this uh, great book, Jnana Yoga. That it is. Uh, he says, look at our condition. We are dying of thirst, sitting on the bank of the mightiest river. We are dying of hunger, sitting near heaps of food. Here is the blissful universe, yet we do not find it. It is right here. We are bliss itself. That is why that beautiful that line from the works of one great saint, Eknath was his name, a saint in Maharashtra. And this Eknath wrote many such very funny sounding poems. He also wrote many philosophical works like his commentary on the at 12th, this book, 12th chapter of Bhagavatam is very famous, called Ekanathi Bhagavad. But then he wrote many poems which are sung with great joy and devotion. And one of them that I chose the title from is that he says that look, at my home, things are reverse. नाथाच्या घरची उलटीच खूण. That it is, things are reverse. Here I see पाण्याला मोठी लागली तहान. The water is becoming thirsty. Hmm. How is it possible? That is how I see that you are feeling the need to get something to become happy, while you are happiness itself. How can you ever become, unhappy? It is not possible except through ignorance. Except through ignorance, not seeing the truth that you are becoming happy. The Therefore, see that this is all nothing but Atman. Uh, Learning to see the same reality in everything. And how to practically go about it? Understood that if I experience my true self, then I will become happy. But is there a practical way of doing it? Yes, Vedanta or all religions actually are basically rooted in practicality. It is not, they are not those philosophies or theoretical discussions. Theoretical discussions, even sometimes it appears that religious discussions tend to be theoretical. Our Ranganathananji in one lecture tells a nice story that one priest had invited his philosopher friend one day to give the sermon. And while introducing his philosopher friend, he said that what is a philosopher? Ah, is philosopher is busy looking for a black cat in a dark room which did not exist. That is philosopher. And the philosopher didn't take it lightly, took it as an insult, and so paid back with interest that, my friend told about my profession. He didn't speak about his own. So let me tell about his profession. Ah, a priest is also somebody who is trying to find a black cat in a dark room which did not exist, but they claim that they have found it. So that is a priest. So that is the some kind, the formalized, organized religions. They go on those lines, but the real religion does not. It tells you, see the truth that underlies all this variety. All this variety, it is the manifestation. Like we chanted, Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam Shakti Bhute Sanatane Gunashraye Gunamaye Narayane Namostute. That it is that the creation, preservation, destruction goes on at the microscopic level as well as at the macroscopic universal level too. That we see everything is born, there is the birth. It is, we celebrate the birthday. Why should we not celebrate the death day really? We should, because it is, the birth is what from that time, now the person has started going, walking towards a certain death. Hmm. So the death is the result of that. If you are not born, then you will not die. So it is the death is the certainty of this. Yeah. So, but it is we have this birth. At doctor's office, you have to tell date of birth for identification. So I wanted to poke a little fun. So that on the counter, please tell the date of birth. I said January, this date, something. And then, what year? And I brought extra innocence on my face and said, oh, actually, every year it is the same. So it is. And now that person at the counter was at a loss how to put the problem. Then I said, oh, don't, I understand what you want. And I told the year also. But the point is that birth, creation, then there is the growth. Srishti Sthiti. You feel that the person is there, he's right here, she is right here. And so, 20 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old, 80 years old. You go on, 100 years old. It is, but we feel that it is the same person. Try to see what is same there. Those who study this thing, anatomy, physiology, they say that every particle in the body changes. In 7 years, there is no particle that was there before 7 years is there anymore. So what do we say the same? It is very difficult to tell what is same there. Nothing is really same, and yet we feel same. What is that? Why do we feel the sameness? Because there is something which is same. And Vedanta says identify that something which is same. It is, you may say that I have been sitting on these chairs for a long time. I have come into this Vedanta society for many years. And so I am sitting on these same chairs. No, the chairs undergo change. So you cannot be sitting on the same chair. You cannot take a dip in the same river because the water is moving away. Oh, I came and took a dip in holy Ganges. Oh, that Ganges is already now those waters have become one with ocean. But how do you say the same Ganges? Everything is changing. So, what does not change? We have to pay attention to that which does not change. So, it is somebody may question those who have a very, that scientific temperament. They claim that they have. Actually, I have found that they are more superstitious rather than having scientific spirit. So, they say, how do you know that it is all, there is something that is unchanging? The very fact that you are able to recognize, see the change, shows that in comparison with something that is not changing, you could see that this is changing. It is uh, unchanging or less changing. Again, less changing means if you do this backwards, you will have to accept that there is something that is unchanging. Relative to that, you see this change. It is, that is how from this oneness the universe appears, seems to be growing and disappears. This is in Vedanta, this is given a name, Maya. Sri Ramakrishna described one day Maya very nicely. That a very nice, very pretty young lady he saw. Then he saw that lady gave birth to an infant. And then after birth, she started breastfeeding that infant. And after a little while, she gobbled that infant and walked away. This is Maya. Mm. That creation, preservation, and destruction. This is how this world is. Behind all these changes, there is this unchanging reality. One has to pay attention to that. And thus, to see that is there, we have to learn to see it. I was having a little conversation with Gordon. And so he was telling, but that is, like, uh, imagining. It is to become our experience. Yes, I said this is same like when you go to see movie. Do you go to see movie sometimes? And in movie, if you see fire, what do you do? If you have water in your bottle and then you splash that water on this fire there, or you call 911? No, you know that the screen is the reality. Whether you see fire there or rains there, that all such variety. You see fast moving cars, you see flying planes or this spaceships, all that. But you know that there is this one screen. You know it, and therefore you don't do such foolishness to splash water on this screen. It will, what will it do? It will make the screen wet, that's all. It is, the fire will continue there. It is. So that is how we should try to see. That is practical spirituality. All our methods, they are very good, like doing your mantra and meditating. But what one should meditate? That which does not change. Mm. That is, you can symbolize it like, say, Sri Ramakrishna, or whatever your chosen ideal is, that it is. But that is the symbol of that which is existence, knowledge, bliss, and does not change in spite of the whirlwind change that is happening. So, this is how to see this, that we are ever blissful. Oh, I forgot to tell you that Taittiriya Upanishad story. Shall I tell? Huh? Okay. A simple story, when some people saw that these people, these with self knowledge, Atma Jnana, they are always happy. And they are happy to a great extent. We can't imagine that kind of happiness. So let us measure the happiness. That is the what the science is, we have to put a figure to it. That so let us see how much their happiness is. So you have to measure means you have to have a unit, isn't it? What unit? So they decided one big unit because it's a big happiness to be measured. So like a distance to some star, you cannot take an inch tape and measure it. You need light years and some such big unit. So they found one big unit, that uh, think of a young man or woman, whatever. There, in Upanishads, the genders are not really, the gender specific thing is not there. So it is, and that person is full of youthful energy. All the sensory organs are in perfect shape, motor organs are in perfect shape, and has been granted this whole universe full of wealth, all kinds of wealth. And now measure it as one unit. So imagine, of our little pleasures of, like, say, eating ice cream are nothing. So that is called one Manush Ananda. That is one human happiness. Then hundred units of that would become, they call it, that it is Pitrulokanam Ananda. In the world of the departed, you will get that kind of bliss, 100 times that. But every time it is written, the one who has given up all desires, Shrotriyasya cha kamatasya, the one who has got the essence of the scriptures and therefore has no desires at all, that person already has that bliss. The units keep on expanding, becoming bigger and bigger. Every time it counts 100, it again goes to the next unit. So it is, so 7 times they did it, and still they, uh, bliss of the knower of Brahman is still not measurable at all. It is still more than all this. So, how much it is? Imagine that they are asking the sage, we are at our wits' end. How much it is still? So many units. How many more units you want? They, uh, this saint, as it were, gives a smile and said, how can you measure with those units? They are only appearances of happiness. They are not happiness. It is, how can you measure, say, $1 real in terms of fake dollar bills? It is not, you cannot measure it like that. It is terrible. It is, one is fake. It is only trash. So, therefore, you cannot measure that happiness in terms of what we call these fleeting pleasures. So, this happiness is our true nature. The moment we become Shrotriya and Akamahata, we get that, we become that, that's all. We know that we are already that. This is a often repeated sentence in Vedanta, Tattvamasi, thou art that. Let us have faith in this, that I am that, I am bliss itself. And we will see with that knowledge being reinforced, our rushing towards the other external things to become happy will stop. So, I will give you at least some happiness now by ending my lecture here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.